Good afternoon, dear colleagues. During the day, the situation in the ATO area has stabilized, and we observed 17 cases of shelling upon our positions in the east of Ukraine. The most difficult situation was the situation near Shirokina. Militants 5 times used artillery, grenade launchers, mortars upon position and shelled upon positions of ATO. They tried to storm, and they fought back. And I received the information that at 10:40 there were tank attacks, and they used Russian tanks T-72. There were 4 of them. So that is and battle artillery from Sakhanka. Those attacks were fought off, and we don't have casualties. At the same time, the enemy regroups its capabilities and updates, and they get ammunition and also fuel and lubricants. Despite of the statements of leaders of DNR and LNR about the beginning of withdrawal of heavy weaponry according to Minsk agreements during the last 2 days, we noticed the movement from territory of Russian Federation through Iswarin on border crossing points of Grad system, armored personnel carriers, and tented trucks with soldiers and ammunition, patrol carriers, and to Novozovsk a lot of tanks were moved, and Grad systems and other ammunition. Also illegal armed formations, they take out damaged vehicles to Russian Federation for maintenance and for returning it to the front. There was a meeting of OSCE, Armed Forces of Ukraine and Russian Federation, so-called DNR and LNR, as a part of the center control in Soledar, Donetsk region. In the report of the mission, they say that all the parties they provided a new map of the region and to OSCE, and with a clear line of separation. Russians told that the representatives of LNR they pulled military equipment from the separation line, but neither international monitors nor Ukraine confirmed that statement. Representatives of CE underlined that until all participants of Minsk agreements provide clear routes and nomenclature of ammunition, they see only maneuvers but not withdrawal according to the peace agreement. Recently, military men from Armed Forces of Ukraine they arrested a tank, and they got a tank and BMP of Russian production, made in Russia, and now this. Now they're taken down into pair spots. So they become donors during when we maintain our tanks and BMPs and assemblies are in a very good shape. When they will be taken out, they all necessary, and that then the rest will be turned into scrap. During the last day, we noticed 4 drones towards Mariupol and Luhansk. One of them abused the airspace of Ukraine and from Russian Federation. During the last day, 1 soldier was wounded. We don't have nobody lost. Ukrainian we arrest militants, and as a part of ATO entry in Kharkiv region, SBU arrested an informer from DNR. He was collecting and provided information on dislocation and movement of Ukrainian military forces during the arrest. They found a grenade and GDP-5 ammunition for grenade launcher 25, about 60 cartridges for Kalashnikov and detonators. Also in Kharkiv, counterintelligence arrested a local resident who, at the task of FSB and for payment, he collected information about ammunition and dislocation of Ukrainian voluntary battalions. The betrayer was arrested when we were trying to send to provide to representatives of Ukrainian Russian Russian FSB on flash, and here's the video of the arrest. Here's a memory stick with information. Thank you.
Donbass.
The criminals are robbing Donbass and terrorize its inhabitants. In Makiyivka, the local gangs have begun forced mobilization. The terrorists come to look to houses of people, and they look for men ages up to 40, according to Ministry of Internal Affairs information. Over 1,800 citizens have been kidnapped since beginning of operation, according to law enforcement in Vuglegirsk and Debaltseve. Unknown criminals have taken facilities of 4 banks, and the total damage to Donetsk region over 3 billion hryvnias, in Lugansk region 4.4 billion hryvnias. This shows the evidence that expansion of Russian world brings chaos, death, and destruction. Ukrainian soldiers help forced refugees. Our volunteers and soldiers have given humanitarian aid to Avdiivka, Mariinka, and Krasnogorivka, and Pisok that now live in Velikonovasilkivsky district of Donetsk region. This would be food, clothing, bedding, books, etc. The IDPs have expressed the desire to return to their homes. Ukrainian government wants to renew normal life conditions in pre-front cities, but through shelling and shooting of terrorists, return of citizens could threaten their life. Ukrainian border guards have visited orphanage for children from several areas of Donbass. Some children were brought from Kramatorsk and Mariupol. Some were moved from the areas temporarily controlled by the enemy, and the border guards brought candy that they paid for, cookies, toys, books, children clothing from schools of city of Kiev, increasing technical and military medicine continues through training done by American and Ukrainian doctors through the program Metsanbat. The soldiers are taught to save their combat comrades from pneumothorax, blood loss, and distortion of breathing. Every soldier should be trained, not just doctors. Rotation continues. More than 100 paratroopers return to Zhytomyr after completing their combat tasks in the east of Ukraine. This unit was moved to the Donetsk area urgently, and they were now met by their relatives and friends with the signs of the military unit and Ukrainian flags. Special forces of police, Ternopil, 50 soldiers have been returned to Ternopil. And at the same time, the battalion named after General Kultitsky, National Guard, was moved to Donetsk. These units were reinforced by personnel and equipment, and for some of and they were strengthened as for some of them. This is 4th rotation. And now let me tell you about another hero of Ukraine. This is Commander with call sign Warsaw, Warsaw. He has just returned from Debaltseve with his unit. He is veteran of fighting in this Plazdarm. In the past, he was protecting Cherno, and Volodymyr with his unit, and he has demonstrated to Ukrainian journalists modern military equipment and guns, as well as Russian documents and passports taken from captured and killed terrorists. Even then, he was stressing that these are regular Russian troops, not some kind of rebels, and he was demonstrating the training of these soldiers, as well as their equipment and arms, to prove. Please introduce yourself as you ask questions.
The line was separation was agreed yesterday. The territory of Donetsk Airport and Debaltsevo. Whom do they belong? According to that line, I'm not ready to answer this question because I have not seen those documents yet. Colleagues, do you have more questions?
24. Can you give us a reaction to the annual report from Amnesty International, which has again repeated its concerns that not only the Russian-backed forces but also Ukraine are making illegal use of weapons such as grads and cluster munitions on urban areas?
Ukrainian armed forces, according to Minsk agreements, open fire only as a response. If they are attacked or if cities and towns are attacked by militants. As to the use of prohibited ammunition, that includes that is only about Russia, because that's what they do all the time, and we have evidence of that. Ukrainian armed forces don't have such prohibited ammunition, or at least we don't use them.
Do you plan any legal action against Amnesty for making these allegations which you say are not true?
Справа в тім, що принаймні на території України діє правило презумпції невинності.
We have a presumption of innocence in Ukraine. First of all, we need to collect all. We need them to provide evidence, and then we will talk to them legally. Thank you very much.